Am I wrong for breastfeeding my son around my father-in-law despite him getting upset? I, 23 female, recently had my first child and have been breastfeeding. I don't use the cover because my baby doesn't like it. My husband's parents have commented on the past about my breastfeeding, saying I don't need to be doing it in public, distracting and showing myself to people other than my husband because it can wait until I can do it privately at home. The issue recently happened when my father-in-law came over to visit. He made a comment to my husband that I managed to overhear about how my top was showing a lot. I didn't notice him glancing down there a few times. I wasn't wearing anything revealing really, just a normal top, but I do have bigger chest and a little skin was visible. I know my husband's parents don't like nursing around them or near them. My husband had asked me previously if I could do it in my room to not cause a fuss when they're over. I was nursing in my room upstairs that day, but I was getting tired. I haven't been getting much sleep taking care of my baby, constantly going upstairs, and baby was hungry. Why was he looking down on her top? That's kind of, he's trying to gloss that over? What? They were all busy outside and I was in the living room alone. I pulled my top down a little and started nursing my baby. But then my father-in-law came into the room after coming back inside the house and looked right at me and huffed a little. My husband and mother-in-law followed him into the room and she said, "You don't have to do that here, do you?" To which I really didn't know how to respond. My father-in-law, who moved more into the room in front of me and was looking right at my chest, muttered under his breath, "I'll just walk on..." Wait, what? "I'll just start walking around with my junk out, huh?" My mother-in-law told me to take it to my room so her husband didn't have to see it all hanging out, and she motioned to her chest. I was just looking back at them, not knowing what to say. I kind of froze and just continued breastfeeding my son, and they just stood there watching like they were expecting me to move, and I just felt exposed and shy, wishing I had just done it in my room. My husband got them calmed down, and eventually his parents left the room with a little huff. My husband went and got a glass of water. It got a little awkward after that. I'm not really confrontational, and for the rest of the day, until they left, I just went into my room quietly to do it. They've commented like this before and it hurt my confidence. For example, in breastfeeding in public, I really didn't mean to do anything. I was just trying to feed my son. Am I wrong? You guys, breastfeeding in public aside, that's a whole conversation. But this one, he was looking down on her chest when she wasn't even breastfeeding. So clearly her father-in-law is some sort of perv. And also, why are people so fixated on women breastfeeding in public? I feel like if people can watch, adult films where women are, naked, obviously naked, doing God knows what. People can have posters, on the wall of malls of models, like modeling bras and stuff. And I'm pretty sure a woman breastfeeding shouldn't make you uncomfortable. At the end of the day, that's what breasts are for, to breastfeed. And if it makes you uncomfortable, you just walk away and go somewhere else where she's not doing that out. Like, why do we need to comment every single little thing, you guys? Y'all stress me out. Someone said, how creepy that he associates breastfeeding with pulling out his genitals. Exactly. Oh, I guess I'll just walk out with my, penis all out now. Girl, what? Sounds like that's something he would actually do. Some people are just creepy by nature. Am I wrong if I'm upset that my husband mentioned getting a paternity test? My 31 female husband, 32 male, just mentioned that he's keen on getting a paternity test for our 3-week-old baby girl. His reason is that our daughter has darker hair than him. He has brown hair, I'm white blonde. I'm a little confused as she hardly has any bloody hair, and this just feels like he's accusing me of infidelity. I actually thought he was joking initially. The conversation went as follows. He said her hair is really dark, so I said, yeah, it is, even though it isn't darker than his. He then mentioned getting the test. It was completely out of the blue. I initially said that he should go for it, as I wasn't thinking, but now I had some time to reflect. I'm really not happy about it. If he wants to get the test, fine by me, but it just feels like he doesn't trust me. Am I overthinking this? He has no reason to think like this. He even went as far as to say, if she wasn't mine biologically, she'll still be my girl. That statement pissed me off, and I've said nothing to him since. So, am I the a-hole? Update 1. Thanks for all the comments and advice. There seems to be some common responses to AITA. I just replied to them here. I'm more than happy for him to get the test, but as most have mentioned, that would confirm his lack of trust in me, his wife, and I don't think I would overlook that. I think I'll seek some counseling to discuss this issue further. I'll be inviting him to join. Some mentioned that our daughter might have been swapped at birth and the test would benefit us both. I can assure all these commentators that she didn't leave my side once throughout our hospital stay, from her entrance to the world to her leaving the hospital with us. I'm very happy that she's our little one. Most people mention projection on his part. I must admit I hadn't thought about this. I'm almost certain that this isn't the case, but I will discuss my fears, concerns with him as this is now at the forefront of my mind. I will update accordingly. Thank you all. I mean, I feel like this might be a projection because at the end of the day, the baby is only 3 weeks. Like at 3 weeks, you can't really tell what type of hair a baby's gonna have. One of my sisters, she was born with like dark hair, and now her hair is really literally brown, and we never did like anything to alter that. Some kids, they come out lighter, and then throughout, like, as they're getting older, they come a little bit darker. Like, things change. At 3 weeks, you can't really determine anything. But I feel like, as people are saying, it might be projection. He might be doing something naughty, and now he might be projecting it onto her. But I think she did do, like, one more update, so let's read that. Update 2. Sorry it has taken me so long to update this post. Essentially, I said to my husband how disappointed I am in him for even bringing this up, and how I feel pretty angry about the indirect accusation. He told me he was joking about it, so I had to tell him that accusing someone of infidelity really isn't funny in the slightest. Duh, it seems as though this question has come from a place of insecurity on his part, not projection. I'm truly satisfied with this. I've suggested we go forward with counseling, and he is keen to engage with this. Also, I have said to him that I'm happy for him to get a paternity test if it's going to put his mind at ease, but if he does go ahead with getting the test, that he owes me. I've still to think of a suitable price, potentially a few months during our eldest school's runs or something. All suggestions accepted, thanks. So they didn't get the paternity test after all, I guess. But you guys, like, I don't know, I would feel very offended. There was like a woman on like one of these stories a while back. Her husband got a paternity test and she filed for divorce afterwards. As soon as the test came in, the paper for divorce came in. She was like, "You're not about to stay here and accuse me of cheating on you when I literally just gave birth to our child." That's raggedy and that's disrespectful. So yeah. A commenter said, "This just feels like he's accusing me of infidelity, quoting OP." And then they said that's because he is. If he believed the baby was switched at birth, he'd use his effing words and say that. Then OP replied, which is what annoys me the most. 18 months ago, I quit my job and moved to a different country for him to further his career. I've given him a second beautiful girl, and he says this? Am I wrong for leaking a fake baby name to my family? My husband and I are expecting our first child, and we did something to have some fun with annoying family members who wanted to name our child for us. This just started a week after we announced, and some relatives on either side were suggesting names. Then a few members of our family, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, my aunt, and my uncle and my 2 sisters decided we name our daughter Elizabeth or Cassandra. We named a son William or Patrick. We told our families we weren't taking name suggestions and to stop acting like they can tell us what to name our kid. We were told the names mentioned were good, solid names and would prevent any weird, tragic name that people, these days choose. My husband came up with the idea to have some with the names and start leaking some names we won't use. This meant commenting on random FP posts with a name and acting like we were going to use that, or photoshopping photos with baby items that had other names on them, stuff like that. We used some out there names. One my husband even heard from TikTok, Cuntley. What? Another was Dicky. Spirit was another one. It ignored the relatives it was intended to. But then another relative spoke up and was like, why would they waste money on stuff with a name if they change it a week later? And then the relatives realized. They were like, why would you do it? And we told them they were annoying us. And we were having some fun since they were so insistent on the names. They said it was childish. My husband pointed out they were the ones who childishly believed they could name our child for us. Other family members found it hilarious. But are we wrong for doing this? I don't think they're wrong at all. I mean, since this is like their first child, I'm pretty sure they want to name their child. Why would they let like random relatives name their child for them? And I don't know, like I have a lot of siblings. When my siblings start getting married and start having kids, like I'm not gonna be like that one weird relative, like, or a sibling like, oh my god, name your child this and that. Like if I say, oh, you should name your child this, and my siblings don't, listen to me the first time, I'm leaving it the hell alone. I don't care. Like I don't know why people are so upset with other people's kids. You know what I mean? If somebody's having a baby, let them name their own damn self. Why does it have anything to do with me? Like, some people, like, get so offended about stuff like this. There was a story yesterday, was it? that I was reading of a mother-in-law. She got kicked out by her daughter-in-law because she kept calling the new baby David, even though the new baby was called, I think, what was the new baby called? I don't know, but the new baby already had a parent from the mother. So, and then the mother-in-law kept calling the new baby David. Oh, hi, say hi to David for me. Say this to David for me. Like, what? Why do you care? If you want to name a baby, then have your own damn baby. Like, it's never that serious.